You are not separate from the version of you that already has everything. You are quantumly intertwined with it. And the field isn't waiting for you to do more, but for you to send a clear signal. That signal is simply not what you want. It's who you choose to be. There is a version of you who is already living the life you dream of. It's not theory, it's not fantasy, it's not motivation. It exists as a frequency. And through the deep and still mysterious mechanisms of quantum entanglement, you are already connected to that version right now. Not tomorrow. Not after you get better. Not after you learn to manifest better. No. The real question isn't whether your dream life is real. The real question is, why haven't you tuned into it yet? If your life seems stuck, if your goals always seem out of reach, it's not because they're far away. It's because your current identity is still intertwined with a version of yourself that doubts, procrastinates, and sabotages itself. But the very moment you change who you believe you are, not in your thoughts, but in your inner state, everything begins to reorganize. And here comes a truth that almost no one has ever explained to you. Most people spend their lives trying to force change from the outside in. They struggle, they push. And even when they embark on a spiritual journey, they often repeat the same mistake, trying to visualize a new life without collapsing the identity that keeps them anchored to the old one. This isn't just another video on the law of attraction. It's a deconstruction of reality and a guide to the collapse of timelines. It's the point where two powerful concepts meet: quantum entanglement and quantum jumping. Entanglement explains why your energy influences matter, why your inner state affects outcomes, and why even your unconscious programs don't operate in isolation. At every moment, you're broadcasting a signal into the quantum field. That signal isn't the words you speak, but the vibration you embody, the way your identity interacts with possibility. Quantum jumping, however, is often misunderstood. It's not magic, it's not escapism, it's not escape. It's a recalibration of identity that allows you to move between existing realities, realities in which different versions of you are already living, waiting to be observed, activated, embodied. And here comes the most surprising part. You've already experienced it. That moment when you made a decision and everything changed instantly. That was a leap. That sudden shift in perception where you saw yourself differently, even if just for a second, that was a time wave. The deep sense of being destined for something more isn't fantasy. It's your future self seeping through the cracks. In the quantum field, time isn't linear, it's layered. This means your future can reach you as easily as you can project yourself forward. You're in a feedback loop with the version of you who's already made it. The connection is active right now. This is the code. This is the secret. The field doesn't need your effort. It needs your consistency. He needs your clarity. It needs your frequency to match what you are asking for, not with words, but with being. So in this video, we dismantle everything you thought you knew about manifestation, and step by step, delve into the most powerful and least understood tool of all: how quantum entanglement makes jumping between timelines not only possible, but inevitable when you know how to use it. And no, we won't be talking about visualization. We won't talk about wishing, hoping, or striving. Here we talk about identity collapse and frequency alignment. Reality is code. In the next step, we'll see how entanglement really works, not just in subatomic particles, but in your everyday life. You'll understand why so many things in your reality have always seemed crooked to you, and why, in reality, they were just reflecting the observer you were looking through. The version of you that already has everything you desire is already connected to you. Let's find out why you haven't jumped yet. Quantum entanglement isn't just a theory. It's one of the most well-documented yet least understood phenomena in modern physics. In simple terms, it means that two particles, once connected, remain connected to the point that changing one instantly affects the other, regardless of distance. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. But what almost no one talks about is what this means for you, your consciousness, your identity, your reality. Because if matter can behave like this, why shouldn't you? You are not a single particle in a void. You are a living field of consciousness. And like those particles, you are intertwined not only with other people, but with versions of yourself that exist on different timelines. Versions who made different choices, who healed instead of running away, who leaped instead of waiting. You are not disconnected from them. Are you vibrating in sync or out of alignment with them? And that's what creates the version of you that the field reflects as your life. But there is a bug in the system. Most people remain entangled with the version of themselves that's still surviving, that's holding back, that's afraid. Not because they want to, but because they've been trained that way. Through repetition, trauma, identity loops so deep, they can no longer be questioned. And what you stay intertwined with, you strengthen. You pass it on. You collapse it into reality. That's why when someone says, I tried to manifest, but it's not working, the problem isn't the effort. It's the unconscious signal that continues to be transmitted from the version of themselves that doesn't believe, that doesn't act, that doesn't live as if the new reality were already theirs. The quantum field is rigorous. It does not respond to desire. It does not respond to the plea. It doesn't even respond to isolated viewing. It responds to the frequency. And your frequency is not determined by what you think about for 5 minutes a day, but by what you embody in every moment. You are the observer, and the observer collapses the timeline. But which version of you is he watching? This is the question that almost no one asks. And that's why almost no one jumps. Leaping is not something you do. It's something you become. You can't leap into the life of your dreams if you continue to act from the version of yourself that feels unworthy. You can't change the timeline by visualizing success while making fear-based decisions. The field doesn't listen to words. It observes what you're still intertwined with, what you reinforce with your behavior, attention, and energy. And sometimes something subtle happens. The version of you that already has what you desire begins to pull the string. You feel it in dreams, in sudden flashes, in those moments when reality seems tenuous. Not because you're imagining it, but because you're starting to overlap. The connection is already active. The real question is, how long will you continue to ignore her?